What would you do if your guest walked into your studio and you could smell them before you even saw them? The cameras rolled. The crowd was electric. Jimmy Kimmel adjusted his tie and smiled until something hit his nose. Hard. Not just a whiff. A whole lifestyle entered his nostrils. He squinted toward backstage. Yup, Whiz Khalifa's in the building, or at least his cloud got here early. The audience chuckled. Jimmy grinned, then turned toward his guest walking in. David Spade. Slick suit, crooked smirk, all 140 pounds of raw sarcasm. Hey Jimmy, if anything goes down tonight, I'm your +1. Don't forget that. Jimmy shot back. Good, I trust you. You look like someone who's never won a fight but has seen a lot of them. They shook hands. Jimmy leaned in. You know, last time I saw you, you don't remember, because I didn't say hi. I spotted you on the street while I was driving. Spade blinked. You saw me and didn't say anything? I was on my way to the doctor. I thought about texting you. Then I thought, what's the point? You ever get that feeling? Spade. Yeah, it's called ghosting, Jimmy. Welcome to 2017. Jimmy laughed. Honestly, I was just impressed I recognized you. No makeup, no lighting. You looked human. Spade smirked. You mean vulnerable. You were wearing makeup, by the way, and heels. Don't think I didn't notice. Cue studio laughter exploding. Jimmy wiped a fake tear. I'll deny everything. But let's talk about that pre-show fog back there. You smelled it, right? Spade. Jimmy, I smelled it on the 405. I walked in and said, either Whiz is here, or someone turned this studio into a Snoop Dogg museum. Jimmy. He had a 10 a.m. call time. I think he showed up at 10 p.m. yesterday. The crowd roared. Has this ever happened to you? You walk in a room and your nose screams, someone famous was here? Drop it in the comments. We're not judging. We're kinda judging. Jimmy leaned forward, half laughing, half serious. You ever spot a friend in public and just keep driving? David raised an eyebrow. You mean like a hit and run, but for friendship? Exactly. I saw you walking down Sunset. I was heading to a doctor's appointment. I had this inner debate like, should I honk, wave, kidnap him? Then I thought, nah, I'll just text him later. Spade crossed his arms. Did you? Jimmy shook his head. Absolutely not. Spade rolled his eyes. So not only did you ghost me, you pre-ghosted me. You ghosted the idea of contacting me. Jimmy laughed. I didn't want to alarm you. I mean, you're not used to random cars pulling up beside you unless you're Ubering. Oh, I'm alarmed now, Jimmy. I'm also touched by how little effort you made. Audience. Insert full-blown laughter. Jimmy tried to shift gears. You looked good, though. Like, barely famous. It was refreshing. You were in jeans, hoodie, sneakers. Just another guy. It took me a second. Spade. What gave me away? Jimmy smirked. The confused look and that I used to host a game show energy. Spade shot back. Wow, that's rich coming from Mr. I have my own desk. The audience oohed. Jimmy took it like a pro. Fair. But let's talk about this new comedy special of yours. Spade leaned back. Yeah, it's called Dandelion. Because I'm delicate, fluffy, and nobody asked for me to grow in their yard. Jimmy. So true. You pop up out of nowhere and ruin perfectly good weekends. Spade nodded. Exactly. I'm the emotional weed of comedy. Jimmy burst out laughing. And yet, we love you, even if we didn't order you. Ever run into someone and pretend you didn't? Don't lie. You know you have. Drop your shameful story below. Jimmy wiped his eyes, still laughing. You know what's worse than ghosting a friend? Spade leaned in. What? Getting in a cab and seeing your own face on the TV. The audience chuckled instantly. Jimmy continued. I get in, it's dead silent. Then boom, clip from my show, Full volume, 4 inches from my face. Driver's watching me, while I'm sitting, right there. Spade cackled. I've had that. I'm sitting in the back like, please mute me, I can't handle me. Jimmy, you ever say something? Spade. I did once. I go, hey, could we maybe mute this? And the guy just goes, I was going to ask you the same thing. Jimmy. So what'd you do? Spade. I found the mute button, hit it, and he goes, still talking. I'm like, yeah, that's me. I'm in here now. Jimmy shook his head. Being trapped with your own jokes should be a legal form of punishment. Spade. It's like being married to yourself. All the talking, none of the benefits. Jimmy. Just endless reruns of you bombing mildly in 2012. Spade added. And the driver judging silently like, this is the guy who played Joe Dirt? Jimmy. Yup, that's the guy. The laughter snowballed. Jimmy looked at the audience. You ever been forced to watch yourself? In public? Against your will? Jimmy leaned in, still laughing. So you're on tour now, right? Spade nodded. Yeah, stand up. Flying all over, telling jokes, eating Slim Jims in green rooms that smell like sadness. Jimmy. Where to next? Spade. I think Albuquerque. Then Phoenix. You know, classic desert sadness tour. Jimmy raised a brow. Phoenix? That's your turf, right? Spade. Sort of. I'm from Scottsdale. Lived in Tucson. Spent time in Phoenix. Basically, I've been roasted by the Arizona sun from all angles. Jimmy chuckled. Did you actually go to college? Spade. Arizona State, baby. Jimmy. ASU? That explains your vibe. Spade. What vibe? Jimmy smirked. The I majored in naps and minors in Taco Bell vibe. Audience. Huge laughs. Spade. Fair. I went for a bit, then bailed. Classic comic origin story. Jimmy. Yeah, you gotta drop out. That's how you know you're funny. Spade leaned back. Exactly. And now, of course, everyone wants tickets to the shows. But here's the thing. They never just say it. Jimmy. Oh, they do that fake humility thing, right? Spade. Exactly. My buddy goes, how do you get tickets to your show? And I go, you're asking for tickets. And he goes, no, I'll pay. Jimmy. That's the worst. They offer their credit card just to seem polite. Spade. I'm like, what do you think this is, Ticketmaster? I'm not swiping cards in a van. I just say, dude, I'll comp you. You're making this weird. Jimmy laughed. So do you give them the tickets? Spade. Of course, but it gets better. I do a show in Arizona, and after the meet and greet, this guy comes up. Guy I haven't seen since 3rd grade. And he's like, how you been, man? And I go, good, man. Real good. Jimmy smiled. Polite answer. Spade. He frowns and goes, cut the showbiz crap. How have you really been? Like, bro, what do you want? A tearful breakdown next to a cheese tray? Spade. I haven't seen you since kickball, Kevin. Let me enjoy this cube of watermelon in peace. Be honest. Ever had an old classmate come at you like you owe them an emotional TED Talk? Drop your most awkward reunion moment in the comments below. Jimmy wiped his eyes, catching his breath. You know, I love when you're honest about fame being exhausting. Spade grinned. Oh, it is. Especially in Vegas. I've been doing a run there with Nikki Glazer. Jimmy. Nikki Glazer? Love her. That's a great combo. You guys like a comedy mullet, smart in the front, savage in the back. Spade. Exactly. We're at the Venetian. Fancy place. Feels like performing in the Louvre if the Mona Lisa had bottle service. Jimmy. So, how'd that duo happen? Spade. They just thought we'd vibe, and we did. She's hilarious. We mess with each other's sets backstage. Jimmy. Like tag team roast battle? Spade. Pretty much. She walks off stage and whispers, Try this line about cats. I whisper back, say daddy issues with more rage. And boom! Next round begins. Jimmy. Do people try to crash those shows too? Spade. Oh yeah. Everyone's got a cousin in Vegas who loves comedy. But here's the kicker. They never say, "Can I come?" It's always like, Jimmy and Spade, together. Hey, so my 4 friends are huge fans. Spade. And if you could do like a 30-minute meet and greet after, that'd be great. Also, one of them is allergic to air, so maybe a quiet room. Jimmy. And they're always complete strangers, right? Spade. Total randos. Zero connection. I'm like, do they think I'm a hospitality major? I'm over here trying to remember my own jokes while someone's aunt asks if I really did all those things in grown-ups. Jimmy laughed. You ever just lie to them? Spade. Absolutely. I tell them I was also in Sharknado, Tiger King, and 1 episode of House Hunters, just to see how far I can go. Audience roared. Jimmy turned to camera. If you've ever tried to get into a show by saying, I know the guy, this is your warning. What's the most ridiculous name drop you've used to get in somewhere? Be honest. We'll be judging, but with love and sarcasm. Jimmy leaned forward, still grinning. Okay, but top 5 weirdest places you've ever stayed during a tour? Spade didn't even blink. Cleveland. Hands down. Not even close. Jimmy. What happened? You get booked at a haunted Red Roof Inn? Spade. Worse. I stayed at a fancy hotel that's connected to the Cleveland Clinic, like, literally, via tubes, like a hamster tunnel for sick people. Jimmy blinked. Wait, like a medical tunnel? Spade. Oh yeah, people just rolling by with IVs and those little beep machines, while I'm eating a sad omelet at the lobby cafe. Jimmy. That's not a hotel. That's a hospital with pillows. Spade. Exactly. It took me a day to realize everyone around me had wristbands and, open wounds. Jimmy cracked up. Did you at least get a discount for catching 3 new diseases? Spade. Nope. Full price. Plus guilt. He sat back with mock trauma. I got in the elevator, and it was me and 4 IV stands. I was like, should I even be here? Or am I in season 4 of Grey's Anatomy? Jimmy. So basically you went to do stand-up and left with a chest x-ray. Spade. I left with something. What? No idea. But it's definitely chronic. Audience is howling. Jimmy. Please tell me someone asked for a meet and greet on their way to surgery. Spade. Almost. A guy in a hospital gown asked if I'd sign his ankle cast, and I was like, Sir, that's your IV bag. Ever stayed somewhere that made you question your life choices? Drop it in the comments so we can all suffer together. Jimmy leaned in, trying to recover from the Cleveland trauma. All right, let's shift. Let's talk family. Your brother's still that tough guy construction worker who gives you weird gifts type. Spade nodded. Yup. Shows up last Christmas with this used buck knife. Not in a box, just in his hand. Says, hey man, got you something. Jimmy. Used? Spade. Oh yeah, like dried blood and history on it. Jimmy. He gave you a murder weapon for Christmas. Spade. And then said, I know you like knives. I'm like, no, I like cutlery, like dinner, not CSI, Glendale. Jimmy. You try flying with that thing? Spade. Didn't even make it past TSA. I got flagged harder than Joe Exotic at a PETA rally. Jimmy. Speaking of which, Spade lights up. Yes, Joe Exotic actually called me from prison. Wanted me to play him in a movie. Jimmy freezes. Wait, what? Spade. Yeah, he calls our podcast, me and Dana Carvey. We're like 200 episodes in, and this guy straight up dials in from federal prison. Jimmy. And what did he say? Spade. I want you to play me, David. You got the hair and the energy. Jimmy laughed. Did you audition? Spade. Yep, I go, Carol Baskin, you bitch. That was the whole tape. Studio erupts. Jimmy, wheezing. You got my vote? Spade. He also said he wanted Trump to pardon him. I was like, dude, I think he's a little busy. Like global riot, economy tanking, etc. But sure, I'll pass that along. Jimmy. At this point, throw it in. What's one more? Spade. Exactly. I'm just trying to keep the podcast alive and not get shivved by a Tiger King. Jimmy. Well, folks, David Spade's Special Dandelion is streaming now on Prime. It's hilarious, it's chaotic, and it smells nothing like Whiz Khalifa. Spade. Unless you light it on fire. Jimmy turned to the camera with a grin. If you survived all 7 parts without spitting out your drink, do us a favor. Drop a comment, tell us your favorite moment, and hit that subscribe button to keep the nonsense going.